If you are looking for a new new token to get into, the Shoba Inu token is here. It's this brand new token, and I have the developer on the line. His name is Don, and I think I could share that with you. His name is Don, and I'll be talking with him today. And we're gonna just talk about what is making Don tick, what's going on in here for him, and like the process of developing this token and where he sees this going in the future. And more importantly, if you're watching this video, whether or not you and I as cowboys in this crypto Wild West should invest our hard-earned money into this token. And he's here to tell us why. If you're new to this channel, my name is Aaron. I'm on an adventure, a journey to one Bitcoin. And if you want to follow along with me in that journey, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And if you are feeling particularly generous, just go ahead and give me a like button. Now, little background about this whole interview style process. I don't see a lot of YouTubers out there interviewing devs about their projects. And the reason why, I think, is because these developers are paying for the YouTubers to just promote their project, and that I feel like that skews their view. I feel like it just it doesn't work with an honest and transparent point of view. I think YouTubers tend to be a little shy on being a little more critical if they're being paid. So I decided to bring on developers and say, hey, you know what? What I want you to do is hop on the camera with me, and I'll interview you. I'll put you in the hot seat, and I'm going to ask you and grill you with questions into why I should invest in your token. And I think you can defend it. If you have a good product, if you have a good project, then you'll be able to defend it. And so what this does, it's a win-win-win. The developer has promotion for the token. I get a little money. I get paid for this thing, and then you get an unbiased, unfiltered opinion straight from the developer. And so, well, I shouldn't say unbiased because they're biased to the project, but it's like unbiased from me is what I'm saying. And so here we have on the line Don from Shoba Inu, and we're here now. Now, we got a problem here because, like I just said, I am after for transparency. And so, Don, you're on the line with me, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Don, welcome to the interview. And I have to ask the glaring question here. I already gave you that whole background into what I'm doing here. And so obviously we can't see your face. So help me to understand why you decided to come on and brave this question in this interview and decide to remain anonymous and not show your face.
Okay, well, I'll start by saying that, thanks for having me on, and that, the way the world is today, it's not exactly as though banks and the monetary reserve or the Federal Reserve or these different systems are applauding, the DeFi space, because, it is, like you said, a little bit the Wild West. You have individuals that are starting to try to develop their own currencies, and to some extent it's working. I've been following a lot of these projects and have looked into them quite closely, and many of them are anonymous. The Rune coin that's coming out, the Thor swap. I've looked into the Bow.finance, who is completely anonymous. Fag is completely anonymous. Even an earlier token called Dollar Protocol was completely anonymous, and there's others, of course. And I just feel like that's sort of the route that DeFi has taken. If you want to develop something, like even Shiba Inu is anonymous as far as I know. So it's sort of the route I've taken, and I've decided just to stick to that sort of direction.
Yeah, I mean that's totally understandable. Being anonymous in a DeFi, crypto space is actually, I think, kind of the essence of cryptocurrency, right? Encrypted, right? Like you want to remain anonymous. Like I kind of get that, you know what I mean? Like I can't really argue with that. The obvious, and I'm not going to belabor this point. This will just be the only follow-up question. Is for you personally, is it just a personal thing? You don't want to hop into any hot water with any like investments or anything? Like what is it personally for you? What you choosing for this?
I think I think what it is it's sort of a practical uh, stance to take because you don't really know how uh, the world reacts to DeFi, how they're going to regulate DeFi if they or etc. So I'd rather be
Safe than sorry.
safe than I guess that's exactly it. Yeah.
I totally, you know what? I totally get it. No, I mean, it's honest a little like creepy because I have an Instagram. Before I started this YouTube thing and before I started putting myself out there, I had this Instagram. And the reason why I had an Instagram is like I wanted to like kind of partake in the platform, but I had it on private for the longest time. And it was like a big step for me to go public with my Instagram account. And I went public to like nobody, right? I had like 100 or whatever followers or whatever. And it is like, it is a bit personal, you know what I mean? So look,
People think it's easy, but it's not. It's a step you take, right?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you're making good money or for whatever reason, you know what I mean? Like there's a multitude of reasons that someone would not want to put their face out there. I just appreciate you hopping on an interview, knowing that I am trying to see the people's faces, and then you're able to say, "Hey, no, this is why. It's the spirit of crypto, encrypted in the first place." The second thing is that there's a whole bunch of projects that a lot of people are hype about that are anonymous. And then the third thing, hey, just you'd rather be safe than sorry. Am I getting that kind of clear?
That's exactly my thinking. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I hope if you're watching this video, if you're a fellow cowboy, you already know how much I talk about like being transparent, but I hope you understand how much the reason for the value of transparency is because of honesty. That's the higher ethic from transparency. You know what I'm saying? I just want people to be honest with just their motives and all this stuff. And I think we have an honest answer from Don from Shoba Inu. So I'm gonna move on from this if that's okay with you, Don, and if that's okay with the cowboy listening to this video. Now, let's move on. Tell me about the Shoba Inu token. What's it all about, and how did it start, and all of that?
Okay. Well, what I think it is it's sort of my experience in the crypto world and my studying of the various trends. Uh, and I've been doing this for a few years now, but I think the Shoba token. Oops, am I?
Yep. Yeah, yeah, you were here. We're here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the Shoba token is something that sort of occurred to me as far as how these meme tokens have been created and the different tokenomics involved in them. And
Hmm.
as I was studying them, I just realized that at some point, uh, maybe creating a token that is closer to, a million tokens being issued versus, a quadrillion or 100 billion would accelerate the whole token process or tokenomics process.
Okay.
And I recognize that uh, if you can create a token that people, you know, are inclined to hold on to, so hold their token bag, so to speak, uh, in the end, that can be a good thing. Some of the projects I've looked at, uh, people are kind of forced almost to hold on to their tokens, and some of them say they appreciate it because, it's an emotional roller coaster ride sometimes, as we've discussed
Right. Right. With the crash and all. Yep.
with the crash. So, um, I did have a chance to talk to briefly Morpheus, who invented this frictionless contract, smart contract.
Who? Wait. Who's
Reflect that. Sorry?
who's Morpheus?
Morpheus was the developer who created the first token that distributes, burns, without having to do anything. And it's reflex.finance. And
Wow. What a name. What?
and I told him, I said, this is a brilliant idea. And he said, thank you very much. Um, and of course, he was and then Safe Moon forked off of him, and these other tokens have forked off of him.
Sure.
And And I thought, well, it's just it's almost like a social experiment. We get to, share in everybody's sort of use of the token
Uh-huh.
and create a deflationary kind of scenario with, the burning of tokens.
Okay. So
Yeah, sorry.
yeah, so before we get into too much detail of Shoba token, can you tell me a little bit about your background that you're willing to share with us? I need to get some context until like the lead up of Shoba, on a little bit of who you are, as much as you're willing to share.
Sure. Well, I got into crypto around 2018. I was introduced to it by some local people here who were, and it was relatively new then. I mean, not new, but it was still kind of a learning curve, and
Hmm.
it was just basic crypto. And, I looked at some tokens that were associated with gold and that type of thing. And I also had the inclination to start some basic coins that I had developed with a fellow in Europe. I'm not a programmer myself, but I work with some programmers, and um, I just thought is the future, right? Uh, you get the indications that the world is starting to head towards crypto going up and up and up, and Ethereum's going up, and with the inflation in the United States, the printing of money, etc.,
Yeah.
the fiat currency. Um, I mean, you just start to realize, okay, you know, maybe cryptocurrency is a good investment. And I've always been sort of inclined to want to do something, not just to follow someone's lead, but maybe to have some say or some idea about it.
Hmm.
And and I've been creating a few coins, and then I finally you know brought this to Shoba. But over the years, I've been and really studying the market. I've been studying the staking,
Yeah.
and I did prior to that I was interested in management, and I wrote a book that sort of incorporated my interest in that. And
So, okay, so you spoke a little bit about the state of the economy, especially particularly the U.S. economy. So, for my viewers, the U.S. actually only amounts to about 30% of my viewership. So, with the U.S. economy, what about that? You mentioned this word fiat. I don't know what's fiat, and what happened with the economy for you to think like, hey, I want to have a say and create a token.
okay, well, I think what it is that um, not just in the United States, but in Canada as well, North America, you have this kind of printing of trillions of dollars and billions of dollars, which kind of creates inflation, and it devalues the dollar. So the fiat is basically the traditional dollar,
Okay.
traditional currency that everyone around the world uses, like paper money.
Got it.
Banking, it's based on, it's called like the fiat sort of monetary system.
Hmm.
And cryptocurrency, and in particular DeFi, is the opposite, because DeFi basically decentralizes the process. It becomes, computer driven, smart contract driven. There's no middleman, there's no person controlling the outcome.
Hmm.
It's algorithms, and uh, you know of course people contribute greatly to the swings, etc. But as far as the actual exchange of crypto and staking of crypto, it's all computer. It's all uh, smart contract.
Yeah.
If there's anything that's centralized, like Binance or other types of systems, well, people aren't as inclined.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but
So help me to understand like what is the difference between a centralized financial system and a decentralized financial system. And where does that, like, what's your thinking here? What's your thought process in that?
Okay, well, centralized is what we have now with the banks.
Right.
Federal Reserve, any is central
Mm-hmm.
based on whatever they decide, the interest rates they pay, they determine, you know, loan, etc. They literally issue print money, like the paper money,
Mm-hmm.
and they burn it. They actually
Yeah.
burn money, like the American Mint burns money, burns the
How's that?
American dollar. Well, they just if it
Really?
gets, yeah, they if it's worn out and stuff like that, they literally incinerate it.
I had no idea.
And yeah, yeah, it's similar to crypto in that way.
Yeah.
Just and that's how they kind of determine the supply of money by issuing it,
Oh.
printing it, and burning it. Whereas in
I,
crypto, it's just digitally created,
yeah.
uh, and that's primarily a difference. Like decentralized means that Ethereum, for example, is supposed to be decentralized. Solana is a new blockchain that is highly decentralized.
Mm-hmm.
Cardano apparently decentralized, meaning no one really controls it except
Mm-hmm.
you know whatever protocols.
Gotcha. So talk to me about Shoba Inu then. How does that fit into this whole space?
Okay, well, Shoba is built on Binance, which is centralized.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the owner of Binance, CZ, he got his degree in McGill in Canada, and he's leaning towards trying to make centralized. But Shoba is a token that it's kind of like these meme tokens can do, because you have a 7% burn function, a 7% distribution function, meaning that every time you sell or purchase a token, that amount is burnt or distributed.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 1 million of the tokens, and there's 18 decimal places. So it's kind of like Bitcoin in a way. In Bitcoin, there's only 21 million tokens. Probably of that, there's 15 million, 14 million. No one knows for sure because people lose their wallets from
Right.
something.
Yeah.
But there's 18 decimal places, so you have this room to play with. You don't need billions of tokens, you
Yeah.
know, to do that.
Gotcha. So, in why the Shoba? What is Shoba? Is that another type of dog? What? I don't know.
Made it up.
Okay. Hey, honest. I'm liking it. So you made up the word Shoba. I'm like, okay. There's all kinds of Hokkaido, Shib. I don't know. I don't know how many Inus are in how big the Inu family is.
6.
Dude, you got me, dude. You just added one, so 7. I'm gonna make one lizard Inu. You know what I mean? So, so yeah. So it looks like here there's not much on this website here, is what I'm seeing. Is that by design?
Okay, that's just the introductory page. That's just
Oh,
the lead in. Yeah.
okay. So I hit continue to show. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, so a million tokens, 7 burn and 7 distribution. Seven is that reflect number, and 7 is to burn. And that's based on every that's based on every transaction, correct? Yeah. And then I guess you have your Twitter and Telegram. Do you run these too? The Telegram and Twitter?
I'm doing those. They're still. It's kind of in a very startup mode.
Okay. How old is this project?
It started maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. And what's this guy? What is this?
Okay, that's a picture of an artist who's going to be involved in this. She made a mermaid sculpture.
Okay.
and that's the picture of the head. But it's just an indication of, what we'd like to do.
Okay.
Because it's not just tokenomics, it's community. Like the token is kind of a utility for something, and what's it going to be used for, type of thing, right?
Hmm. I see this project is fair launched. What does that mean?
Okay, it means that all the million tokens were put on the liquidity that was
Hmm.
for the entire million tokens. And what happened was instantly there was like people buying it. Like I hadn't even bought the token. Am I going to be able to buy my own token? And then it kind of slowed down a little bit. Um, but it's just that's what fair launched means. It means that we didn't keep any in reserve, etc. So I ended up buying some myself.
Gotcha. I'm gonna pull up the charts here on it. Wow. Okay. There. Okay. There you go. Okay. Yeah. So just like every other coin here, it's a little bit in the red.
Yeah.
So we're looking for a lot of upside for anyone who'd be looking to buy the Shoba. I'm seeing here there's 15% of this coin is to one wallet. I'm gonna assume that's yours.
I don't know.
Um,
How many is there? How many was there on there? Yeah, I
uh,
think that might be on Pancake Swap. I'm not sure.
oh, is this Pancake Swap?
Oh, 15%. No, that's
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
Yeah. And then 6%, 3, and so some people own a lot of Shoba Inu here. I think that's hilarious that you just made that up. So, um, oh, I'll look at this. That's me on your website. That's pretty cool. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So okay. So I'm seeing a few red flags here, and maybe you could help me uh, calm my anxiety here. I don't see any like. Did you get it audited?
No, I'm going to.
Okay.
I put that on at the frequently asked questions.
Oh, okay. I didn't pull that up, so not sure where that is.
Sure, I'm going to do that.
Okay, cool. You're gonna get that audited. Yeah, I think that's wildly important, especially something like a meme coin. You know what I'm saying? Like these meme coins it's just, yeah. Oh yeah. So here are the rug pulls. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. Now, where do you want to see Shoba go to? Like, I mean, what is the future of Shoba like?
Well, I'd like to see, um, good question. I mean, partly it's kind of experimental in that uh, not many tokens have really been created with these numbers, like a million tokens, etc.
Yeah. So this is what I'm hearing. This is a truly an experiment for you. Then you just created a coin and said, "I'm just going to see what happens."
Exactly. I'm curious to see how the dynamics work, how the market works with it, because it's kind of on the cutting edge. Like it's got 14%, you know, of those numbers, and then it's got only a million tokens. It's kind of pushing the limits, but I think that's a good thing because it keeps people on their toes, so to speak.
What are you looking for with this experiment? What are you looking to prove anything, or what kind of finding are you looking for?
Um, well, I'm trying to make it adopted. Like I really would like to see people. Like I think the community end of it's important. I'm into creativity. I'm into art, music. Critical thinking. You
Hmm.
know, and I'd like to attract. I'm into positive. Creating a positive community uh, based on honesty and integrity. Quite
Yeah,
frankly.
for sure, for
So
sure.
I think that what I find is that in general in cryptocurrency, people are apart from the odd rug pull or the nonsense that goes on, people do like associating you know through these tokens. They like finding common ground amongst themselves, and
Hmm.
uh, I'd like to see what we can do. What kind of community we can create.
Yeah,
Encourage people to be creative in their various fields.
gotcha, gotcha. So I'm looking at yeah, I'm just looking at what you've got here. So 64% is still in the contract, right? That's to the contract,
Yes.
if I'm reading right. 15% is probably yours. I'm not going to oust you, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say like I don't think I can guess that. You know what I'm saying? And 6%, 3%, 3%. I think that's very fair. I think that's fine. How is there? I'm not sure. Like I'm still new, so how did it get burned? Like where's the burn wallet?
Okay, the burn wallet is I'll have to find that. It's got a whole string of zeros. Um,
I'm seeing here that there are 14 addresses as holders,
okay.
right, on the BSC scan. And then
If you look under transfers, is there something? No, I guess it wouldn't be there.
yeah, usually I would see a 0x0000 dead wallet.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to double check that because it is working, like as far as the maybe I'll double check on that. Okay.
Okay.
I'll ask the fellow I've been working with on this to clarify that.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep it above water here. It's something that I noticed that I didn't want to go back to. You know what I mean? Like this is that is a little bit concerning when I see a seven if I see a 7% distribution, maybe to a wallet that it doesn't say 00 dead. You know?
Okay, what we can look on is the read contract, and it should have a 7% because I added those myself.
Okay.
Um,
Now honestly I don't know what I'm looking at. I've never gone to
okay.
this thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what a read contract is.
Okay, read contract is basically tells you the parameters of the contract
Okay.
and under query balance burn fee. Yeah, okay. You see the number 3? If you go to read contract,
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I'm there.
okay, and you scroll down to the third sort of heading, it
Yep.
says burn fee,
I do.
and then 7. So that
Okay.
means the 7%.
Okay.
So it's definitely in there.
Okay.
And
I guess I don't. I guess, like I said, my question is, where's the thing here?
I'm wondering if it's because it's Binance, maybe I have a different way of, of displaying it. Um, okay, spender, tax, decimals, collection, reflect. Yeah, okay, the tax fee is the 10th category if you scroll down.
It's a read, and then tax fee. Yeah, 7.
And that's 7 as well. So that's the burn.
Okay.
I
Is
think, yeah, that's the
okay.
burn. And the other one is, no, the burn is the burn, and the tax is the redistribution. Yeah, sorry.
Right. Right.
Okay. Yeah. So those are working. I mean, I'm not sure where the burn address is, but I'll look for that, and I can send you the information.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. I think it'd be very helpful to. I'm gonna post this. It's gonna post on Sunday at 11 or 9:30 or something like that. And so if you could put that in the comment section, and I'll pin it to the top so that we know, like, hey, you know what, this is above water, and we're gonna be looking for this one.
That is how the contract works. Like those numbers, those are the two. Like you add, you just write into that those.
Look, Don, look, I'm being honest with you. I have no idea what I'm looking at, right? It's like, so if you tell me that's how it works, no problem, I'll believe you. But I mean, I'm looking at it.
Contract. This is
It just looks like a number 7 to me. It just, it just looks like a number 7 to me. And it was not against this particular contract. It's any contract. If I went to a recontract and any other thing, I'd be like, I'm a little lizard brain. Okay, I have gorilla arms and diamond hands, but I don't know what I'm reading here. So this is whatever. Okay, no problem. So okay, that's good and all. I think in all honesty, I think you need to flesh out this web page a little bit more. I'm kind of going through it, and I want to get back to the main thing here, and I'm like, where do I go? Where do I go here? I think you should put my face on here. I think that'll get you some more buyers and stuff. I'm just
Okay,
joking.
I will.
I'm messing. I'm messing. I'm messing. I'm messing. Um, that's funny. Yeah. So, and the roadmap and the legal stuff. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So, what's your plan on moving forward here, Don? What's your plan on like marketing? Let me hear what your plan is to grow this community because as of right now there are 14 holders, right? How do we get to? Sorry, I'm going on my dashboard. How do we get to? How do we get further along this?
It's a good question, and really, it's something I've thought about. Like, this is not a pump and dump coin, you know. Um, this, like for example, I've had this coin now for maybe a week and a half,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not worried. I'm not worried that okay, I don't have 30,000 holders already. Uh, I just today I had somebody purchase 34,000 tokens, or in the last 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some new
I see
people
that.
on our Telegram that are like, "Hey, I'm into this. How can I
Yeah.
help you promote it?" I'm
Mm-hmm.
working privately with a fellow who's got his doctorate. He wants to. I'm not sure in what field, but he might be a medical doctor or a computer scientist. But he wants to connect with us and start cross promotion.
Okay.
To me, it's all about the integrity of the projects that I'm associating with. So I'm not like I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can, but I'm not, trying to be what's the word, fanatical, hysterical, all
Sure. You want to be grounded. You want to be. Yeah. Okay.
exactly. And
I
and
get
I'd
it.
like to partner with Feg. Like Feg Exchange is quite a revolutionary product. Or website. You can stake meme tokens on the exchange, um, because
Yeah.
they're programmed to accept that type of contract. So if people who own the Shoba should be able to stake their tokens and receive rewards
Yeah.
in a few ways. So it's the same with goldfarm.io. They stake
Sure.
meme tokens.
Sure. I get it. I get it. So, so you said this is not a pump and dump token. But by some admission, look, I'm looking at a Shoba Inu, very known as for pump and dump, so like, right, just like kind of in the meme category, the reflect and stuff like that. And granted, it's not audited yet, but it will be. If I'm a new investor, just honestly, I'm looking at this coin, I'm like, oh, this is a pump and dump. So what could you tell me as a potential investor, like, hey, this is why it's not a pump and dump?
Okay, well, if you buy and sell right away, you lose 28% of your investment.
Okay.
So right away.
Yeah. 1414. Yep. Oh, okay. That's where, and that's the experiment. It's so the 14% is a massive tax. Really, 28% is a massive tax. Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you something here, Don. What? How do you make a token? Like you said, how do you do this? I have no idea how to even make this token. If I want to make lizard to- lizard Inu, what do I do?
You can literally go on YouTube and type in how to create a Binance token.
Really?
And yeah, it's free. It's almost free.
Uh,
Only a few dollars.
how much did it cost?
Well, I paid a little more because I was working with a fellow,
Uh huh.
and I've known him for a while, and I have a mutual agreement with him, so I pay him to create the token for me.
Uh huh.
For maybe 10, I'm not sure how much for Binance, but if you type it in into YouTube, there are people who walk you through the steps of creating a smart contract that you can deploy on the Binance Smart Chain. You can do it in Ethereum, which I have some tokens on Ethereum that I'm not really promoting or anything, but
Hmm.
um, it's much more expensive. Like I was creating Ethereum tokens years ago for $25, but now they're $3,000 or $4,000 just to create.
34,000.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! I had no idea. You know what, Don? I'm gonna be straight with you, man. This is quite the interesting experiment, man. You here? So here, take this from like my point of view here, man. I'm here, and I'm literally talking to everyone about like, okay, guys, we've got a new token. Let's dive into it. And then the developer is here with like, I don't see his face, but he explains himself like, okay, this makes sense. It's the spirit of crypto. It's better safe than sorry. Okay, I get it. But then I see Shoba token, and it puzzles me because there's no dead wallet, there's no audit, and there's 14 holders, and so it's like it truly is a fascinating experiment. It's like what will happen? Could you imagine like 2 years later? I mean, where's Shoba? Does it expire? Does a token expire? I don't even know. Like, what happens after so long?
It's okay. Actually, they don't expire. They just stay on the blockchain. Like some of the tokens I created years ago, they're just there. I just was sort of experimenting with them. I wasn't promoting them. This
Ah,
is the first token I've ever promoted because I feel confident enough now to do it. I really gave it a lot of thought. Let's just put it that way. I just didn't say, "Oh, I'm going to create a token and I'm going to promote it."
what, so okay, so yeah, so what's the thought process? Walk me through the thought process. Why you want to promote this one?
Okay, well, first of all, I do take other people's money very seriously.
Yeah.
I would never ever rug anybody, and I also don't want people to have a bad experience.
Hmm.
So, because it's their money, I understand.
For
I
sure.
bought the tokens. See, I bought these tokens, Shoba tokens.
Hmm.
So it's my money invested in it as well. Um, the thought process behind it is, well, how can I make the best token out there? Like, how can I improve on what's already been done? It's
Hmm.
really that's that kind of thinking behind it. I know that the diamond hands, the weak hands, that whole mentality is real.
Yeah.
People get nervous. They want to make some money, they take some profits. They don't
Yeah.
want to lose anything.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I thought, well, how can I create something where people are more inclined to hold on and help them get past that point where they want to sell their token? How can I create a scarcity of token without, you know, uh, waiting forever for it to happen, type of thing, months or years?
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah.
okay, I think we're running up to time here. I'm just I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna have you challenge me here. In my brain, in my little lizard brain, I'm like, not a good buy, not a good buy. I'm a little skittish on it. And this is your experiment. This is right. This is the experiment you wanted to find out, and so I'm giving you some honest reactions to your experiment. I hope this is taken okay. I don't think this is a good buy for myself. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I could honestly say, hey, you know what, my best friend or my wife or my whatever, my brothers or whatever. Hey, I don't think you should buy it. I can't say honestly you should buy this token. What would you say to me for that in response? So I'm saying it's a scam. It's too risky. What is your counterpoint to me? Like, how can you win? What would you say to win me over?
Well, I would say that what I've written on the website is what I actually believe. I believe it's the
Okay.
tokenomics of the coin. It's the million tokens. It's the 7 and 7.
Oops.
It's how the 18 decimal places. Um, it's the math, really.
Yeah.
That if you don't have to buy like a billion tokens, you can have 50 tokens. You can have 100 tokens.
Interesting. So you're standing on the math. You're saying the math works.
Yes, it's the math. It's
Oh.
trying to objectify the token rather than, it's not, that's what I mean by it's not a pump and dump. It's a mathematical approach to crypto. It should
This
work.
okay. So okay, that makes more sense. You know what I mean? Like to me, it was like we were standing on like the whole memeness of it, and I guess it wasn't click. I wasn't clicking in my lizard brain like, hey, there's no other token here that imposes such a high tax fee, And so what happens when there are high tax fees imposed? You have long it incentivizes holders even more. That's what you're saying?
Exactly. And when you have a scarcity of tokens, it also incentivizes
And then the scarcity. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
both of them, and you create this mix of both these things, right?
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. So if you're watching this video and you made it to this far, I just want to thank you for watching. Look, the choice is up to you. Don is here, and he's defending his token. He's saying, look, it's not the memeness. I just made up the name. It's the math, and it's for you to decide and whether or not you want to invest your hard-earned money into this token or not. Don, I'm going to leave you with one final opportunity. Any final thoughts for us? Do you have any last final thoughts on whether or not we should? What makes this token stand out? What makes Shoba so special?
I guess it's ultimately okay. The math, like I based on, and these are anonymous developers, but they're very upfront with people. I'm trying to be upfront as well, and I think that's important too for the long-term project.
Yeah, I fully think that you were upfront with all your opinions. I mean, just to say like, hey, this is just what it is. It's an experiment, and let's see what happens. I really appreciate that honesty, and I mean, I really do. There's not a lot of people out there who would be as honest and forthright as you've been on this interview. So, Don, thank you for joining me on this interview. Thank you for sharing Shoba Inu Token with us. If you are if you're watching here and you want to follow along in my journey to 1 Bitcoin, I'm going to have to ask you to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and if you're feeling particularly generous today, I know people watch these videos and never hit the like button. I would just ask you to hit the like button if you're feeling generous, like a generous person today. Anyway, Don, thank you so much for joining me in the hot seat. I know I grilled you with questions. I hope I hope we're all good. I really wanted to get into your brain and see what you're thinking with this token. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you on the moon.